Hey everybody, it's Sean from IronSword Spices, and today we've had a request. I do take requests, so get in the comments section, but only if you can subscribe. If you're not subscribed, don't want to hear it. But anyway, we've had a request, and we're going to make a breakfast casserole. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's cheese and bacon and sausage and eggs and potatoes and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's going to be great. So follow along. Come on. All right. So to get started, we're going to put some bacon in the oven. We do bacon in the oven because, you know, around here we do cook naked. It's much safer. No, we do it in the oven because it cooks very nicely in the oven. Cooks nice and even. Comes out nice and crispy, crunchy. Makes much less of a mess out of your stovetop. And it makes the house smell really good for a really long time. So we're gonna get, well, it's bacon, and since this is a request, there's not really a written recipe for it yet, so I get to make it up as I go along, and we're just gonna put as much bacon as we can, which is always the best number for any recipe. As much bacon as you can. Think we can get one more in there? Bet I can. Oh, look at that. So this is going to be in there about 25 minutes or so, and then we'll get on to the next step. Next up, we're going to use our sausage, and they just go into a skillet, just like that. And then basically you just heat them up. Super easy. While the sausage is doing their thing and the bacon's doing its thing in the oven, we're going to make our egg mixture. And it's pretty simple. Just throw a half a dozen eggs right in a bowl together here. And we're gonna put a little bit of milk in there, probably about a quarter cup or so. I'm gonna put in a pretty decent little helping of salt in there, probably about half a tablespoon or so. And the 7 pepper. 7 peppers, got black pepper, annatto, chipotle, got all kinds of good peppery stuff in here. We're gonna put that in the eggs, give it a little bit of spice, and then we just mix them up. Just beat them up real good. We want to incorporate a good bit of air in here. It'll make the whole thing a little bit less dense in the end. And you know, since it's gonna be potatoes and bacon and cheese and sausage, we don't want anything real heavy in there, you know, no, not at all. We're gonna cut up into some fairly thick, about 1/4 inch thick slices, a block of cheese here, and this is gonna go in the bottom. And don't worry, there's more cheese. There's always more cheese. There we go. We'll line those up at the bottom. It'll be a nice gooey layer on top of the hash browns that we're gonna make here. It's gonna be delicious. Sausage. Sausage is ready to go. Now I don't want to throw them on the floor. You don't want me to throw them on the floor, but I have a few helpers that want me to throw it on the floor. Just want to cut these into 1/2 inch chunks, little less than bite-sized chunks. What we're going to end up doing here is we're going to end up building our mise en place, everything in its place. We're going to get everything ready, because once you shred the potatoes, which is coming up real shortly here, they are going to start to brown, and we don't want that. So we want to have everything ready on this board. We're going to put the bacon up on here next, and we'll have everything ready. And when we do the potatoes, when they're ready to go, we can just dump everything right in there on top of them. This is between 25 and 30 minutes at 400 degrees. And this actually looks like bacon. So I believe this is why some people think they can't cook. Everybody can cook, you just have to not follow the directions. Bacon. You didn't get to watch it all get moved, because then somebody might have counted how many pieces there were. This we're just going to rough chop up into some good sized chunks here. Nice and crunchy. Now we're going to move on to the next bit, which is the potatoes. We are ready to go. Time for hash browns. First step, get after them with your shredder. And I'm going to grate up to, we'll say medium size. Depending on what part of the country you're from, these are medium sized, I suppose. Might be small, could be extra large. Now we're going to put these on paper towels just to absorb as much of the water as we can. It'll help them get crispy and nice and brown and, you know, look like hash browns rather than mashed potatoes. And yes, I left the skin on because I like the skins. I think it tastes yummy. Grated potatoes are amazing. Grated chef fingers, not so much. If you have cheesecloth in your house, you could put these in there and you can wring them out. You can do it like I'm doing, which works just as well. Takes quite a few paper towels, but it does work. Those are pretty good. Once they get here, you can hit them with a little bit of salt and pepper and whatever kind of spices you like. And there we have a good bit of the 7 pepper and the eggs already, so I'm just going to do salt and pepper on these. Salt. And that should do it. They're ready for the pan. It's potato time. Take a couple of tablespoons of butter, put them in the bottom here, because, you know, it's butter. Now, if you do not own a cast iron pan, go buy one. That's my first option for you. The second option is, yes, you can do this in a 9x13. Is it going to come out as good? Maybe. Maybe not. Probably not. But you can do it in a 9x13. Just do the same sort of process up to this point. Maybe melt the butter in the oven instead of on the stovetop so you don't break it. And we're going to add in our potatoes. You can hear them in there starting to kind of fry up on the outside. We want a really good base of these in here. And then go up on the edges too a little bit. Wow, the pan is hot. Cast iron is really good at being hot, and this is very hot. Make sure you fill in any holes in the bottom, because we're going to put a good bit of liquid in here in a minute. Push it up the sides, kind of like a pie crust. Hash browns. You do want to press this down in here because it'll help the base form and make a nice little crust for you. You can see in the little lower spots, or you can't see that one, there's one over here. Kind of roll it in a little bit. See the side raise up some. Do that. Get in there on the sides. This does not have to be perfect. The more perfect it is, however, the less cleanup you will have. Just saying. On to the next step here. Which is going to be the cheese. We're going to line this thing with cheese. And you do have to work kind of quickly because those potatoes are cooking. What? I was going to say, I can't be out of room for cheese. It's not possible. We're going to add in our sausage. Just sprinkle it around. We're going to add in our bacon. Oh, look at that. Just, yeah. And lastly, we're going to add in our egg mixture. over. And then into the oven it goes. 375, we're gonna cook it for about a half an hour and we'll check back in on it. So depending on how thick you make this and how big of a pan you use, this can take anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes at 375, but ta-da! Not quite done because, you know, there's cheese in there, but it's all the way on the bottom and that's not any good, so you have to throw a little bit more up here on the top and we'll stick it back in the oven for a second. Couple minutes just to let it do its thing. And stick it back in just to melt the cheese. There we go. That's much better. Yeah, now how you tell if this is done or not is just push that middle bit. See, it's nice and firm. It's pretty solid. So we're gonna let this sit for a couple of minutes so that it's not like juggling lava, and then we're gonna get it cut up so we can see the cheese on the inside. We're just gonna work it real gently, because in the end this is just hash browns holding together this entire thing. Let's see if we can slide it out of there without making too much of a mess. Oh, I'm feeling cheese on the bottom. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Nothing like good cast iron. This is 2 servings taken out of this. 2 servings. Actually, this looks more like 1 serving to me because it is super tasty. If you want to store this, this will store in the refrigerator for a few days. You can cut the servings out, wrap them in plastic wrap, and put them in the freezer also. Now, to reheat it, I'd just put the oven on about 350, 375 or so. And just put it in there for about 10 minutes. It should be fine. Should heat it right back up. Keep it nice and crispy. Wouldn't recommend the microwave because eggs in the microwave are never good. This can keep you going for quite a while for just a couple bucks. So that's it. Altogether, probably costs between $16 and $20, and you're going to get 8 to 10 servings out of this too. So this was only $2. Right here for the little breakfast casserole that we're doing by request. And lots of cheese, lots of bacon. Ooh, look at the bottom of that. That's nice and crunchy.
Hey, hey.
Too. Hey, hey, what? Shh, go away. My documentary crew over here. Shut up, fool. Or you get none. Obnoxious sous chefs. Pushy documentary crews. Must be famous. Let's see how this is. Mm-hmm. That's really good. And you can do a lot of different options with it. You can do any kind of bacon you want, any kind of sausage. You know, you can use just egg whites in this if you're kind of keeping an eye on that sort of thing like some people are. The hash browns though. The hash browns, I have plans for this. There's going to be a version too, so keep an eye out. Give us a like, subscribe. Please subscribe, help the channel out a lot. Comment, let us know what you want to see, what you liked, what you're having fun with, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Also, many of you might have been noticing, if you're paying attention, this thing takes a while to make. So it's a really good idea and it's very easy to do. Just make it the night before. It's perfect for the upcoming holidays. Make 1 or 2 of these and put them in the refrigerator overnight. And throw them both in the oven when you get up first thing in the morning. By the time you get your coffee and the kids and everybody and everything else going, it'll be ready to eat. Just 350, 10 minutes. It'll be perfect.
You can get it. Go ahead.